Welcome to the Young and the Wrestlers, the Pop Cultures WWE podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Betson, alongside
Stone Cold Steve Ostjam. Wow.
You can listen to us every Friday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services and 9 a.m. on the YouTubes very, very shortly. If you want to join those wrestling conversations, head over to the Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/thepopculturist or the Discord channel where we do have the lovely wrestling talks and the Young and the Wrestlers even little section there. The links to those are in the descriptions below. If you want to show the love for the Pop Cultures and the Young and the Wrestlers on your body, head to popcultures.com/shop. You can buy shirts like this and like that one. A bunch of other assorted shit. We are also on Patreon, patreon.com/popcultures if you are so inclined. Then we are on Twitch. Man, I'm just getting burps like a motherfucker. We do every Wednesday before the pay-per-view, we use the power of WWE 2K19 to predict the outcomes of said pay-per-view. Hello. Good. Now, normally it's like weeks between recordings. It's been like fucking 20 minutes.
Yeah. I'm still on a high actually from the weekend
of
Elimination Chamber.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm still good. In the last half an hour, I'm watered.
Yeah.
We have the fan on now.
Yeah, we vibing.
It's actually better.
It's a thing.
If it's not, it's better than the chamber discussion.
Oh yeah.
Because we've already done all that bullshit, we can get straight into the show. So this week's episode of Raw aired on the 18th of February. It was at the Cajun Dome in New Orleans. It did kick off with Triple H walking into the ring to sort of set up an example, pretty much tell us what's happening moving forward, as they've done last week as well. I think it's more of just keeping everyone informed of what's going on for anyone that does have, because as we do approach Mania, a lot of people are probably going to start to come in because they know Mania is coming up, so they want to see what the build-up is. So having him come in and pretty much give a rundown of previously on Raw, and just give a bit of a rundown is really good. During that discussion, he did talk about Becky Lynch and her appearance at Elimination Chamber, giving the beatdown on Charlotte and Ronda with the crutches. These exact words were, professionally, if Becky Lynch does appear, she'll be arrested and prosecuted. But personally, it was awesome.
It was awesome. Yeah, that's what I love. He was just straight up like, look, by law, if you show up again, we will arrest you and press criminal charges. But it was pretty badass.
It's very tough for Triple H.
It's very reminiscent of Triple H back in the day.
Well, that's the thing. That's the real conflict that Triple H faces now. As a wrestler, he was that. When he was a superstar,
Becky Lynch.
that's who he was. Yeah. He was that guy. He was the troublemaker. He was getting on people's shit.
He was married to the boss's daughter. He is married to the boss's daughter.
Yes, he was the guy that did all those things. For him to then have to be like, ooh, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Ooh. So, if anything, it's reminiscent of his DX days.
Yes.
And he did confirm that the first entrant in the 2019 WWE Hall of Fame
is
DX, D-Generation X. That includes everybody. That's Triple H, that's Shawn Michaels, that's X-Pac, that's Road Dogg,
and the ninth wonder of the world, China.
This is something that the universe has been wanting for a while.
Yes.
They've wanted China to be in there because as a female superstar, she has been huge in a big hunk of what made the Attitude Era and what brought into that.
Yeah.
Now we do understand the hesitations for WWE to put her solely in, mostly because of her actions outside of the ring.
Yes.
We won't get into those right now, but it's good that she got in there in some capacity.
Yes.
And
definitely.
I don't know about you, but to me, D-Generation X is a defining part of WWE.
Yeah. D-Generation X is again another one that I grew up with. Like their whole shtick, suck it was a universal term. Was it a great thing to be saying and teaching kids? No. But it was still amazing. Like, it doesn't
You're not down with that? I got two words for you.
Like, it's a phenomenal thing. I think the best thing I've seen in recent times is like somebody's got a gif of Shawn Michaels. It just says Big Mood and it's got him walking to the ring and it's like,
it's just like, suck it.
Yeah, just very polite.
Yeah, and you suck it.
So good. So, D-Generation X, even, like, obviously Attitude Era, you're talking sort of like early 90s into early 2000s, and coming into the latest sort of end of the 2000s, you still had Shawn Michaels and Triple H causing a bit of kerfuffle. And we recently saw Road Dogg with Jeff Jarrett. That was awesome as well, that he's still pulling the DX shtick. So it's definitely something that has stuck with the generation.
It makes me want that suck it jersey that I keep seeing. I don't know where to get it, but I want it.
Yeah. Mike Tyson is part of D-Generation.
Yeah, apparently.
Next. Yeah.
He's not a Hall of Famer though.
No. But you know, it's really cool to see that, you know, that generation is, you know.
Because one of those things, like when I think Attitude Era, the three things that come to mind: Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock and DX. So like for me, I'm like, all right, cool. I don't think those other two are in there yet either. So it's really interesting.
Yeah.
We maybe have a big Attitude Era push.
That would be awesome.
It'd be very interesting because like one of the rumor mills currently coming into Hall of Fame is that would get the Hart Foundation.
Yes.
So having two teams go in, I'm down with that. I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's normally happening.
Yeah.
But get a bit of inside baseball. While the WWE Hall of Fame event happens, AEW are having their Double or Nothing thing kind of just down the road.
Yeah.
So for them, it's more of a we need people to come to this and not go to AEW's thing. As I said, we'll be watching and reporting on AEW's
definitely.
Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
Because it's a great. I can't believe
it's a great opening.
I can't believe that we are going to be on the ground like day one of something.
Yeah, that's really exciting. I can't wait to share that with you guys.
But speaking of day one of the other things they mentioned, the Triple H mentions while it's in the ring, he goes, we're going to do something a little bit different here. He goes, we are bringing up some people that may be worth your time. Yeah. Now, he did say that they're debuting. He also implied that there were call-ups. But at time of recording, and there has been no direct confirmation on whether these NXT superstars are official call-ups. But we saw essentially the four top dudes of NXT. We got Ricochet, Aleister Black, Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Takeover, Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa. So that is so Johnny Gargano at the time of the show is the NXT United States champion, and Tommaso Ciampa being the current NXT champion.
What is with the way Ciampa cradles his title? Like he's very
protective. That's his precious.
He's very romantic.
It's very it's
very
Schmiegel.
Yeah.
It's very like
my precious.
Yeah, it's very cool. Watching.
He looks like a hairy Schmiegel.
So I've not watched a lot of NXT.
No,
I've watched a lot of a good hunk of the takeovers.
Yeah.
And these four guys are the standouts.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Halftime Heat, Ricochet was ridiculous. So good. Like, I watched Halftime Heat, I think, after Elimination Chamber because I hadn't seen it yet and I was told to watch it.
Yeah.
And I did, and I was like, well, damn, like, this Ricochet guy is something else.
Yeah.
So I was stoked to see him sort of come up and show what he's got on the main show.
And so, because we were watching the last takeover, one before Rumble, my wife and I, and I'm like, she's into the flippy shit. So when I saw that Ricochet was on, I'm like, come on, come watch this.
You're gonna like this guy.
And it was as I think I said a couple weeks ago, it was like physics doesn't exist for Ricochet.
No, that guy's ridiculous. He's so fast. He's so witty. Like he's just everywhere. Yeah. You name it, he's there.
But we'll get into his specific circumstance in just a moment. Then Triple H did jump out of the ring, which led us to discover that there would be a table match between Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman, for, as we mentioned in the Elimination Chamber, was the 8,001st time we have seen this. It seemed to be sort of this continuing of this current feud that they have. It did begin, obviously being a table match, the only way for it to go down is to have someone go through a table. Yeah. Now, interference is not a thing in these, as in if you do, that's DQ. Yeah. The only thing you can do is go through a table. So no pinfall, no submission, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
So thankfully, unlike the Elimination Chamber, there was no interference.
Yeah.
There was a lot of to and fro with Braun and Baron. It was actually a pretty... Like, it was boring because I've seen it before.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Having Braun get the upper hand at some times, doing a big I think it was suplex or big drop on the ramp, on the walk-in ramp.
Yeah,
that was a good smack.
Baron was going for it and he reversed it and smashed him. That was a solid hit.
Yeah, that was a good...
That was a loud ting.
That was a good...
Yeah.
And it was...
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Yeah,
they did get back in the ring, and it did end with Baron Corbin going through a corner table.
Yeah.
So nice. I think it was a running powerbomb.
Yeah, he went to do something. Braun caught him and just straight through the table. It was great.
So it was good for him to finally get the win.
It was nice to see him. Yeah, a clean win too. Obviously, Baron's been getting dirty wins for a long time, and I'm sick of it. So it was really nice to see Braun Strowman get the upper hand and get a nice clean win, the way wrestling should be.
That's true. And you have very nice handwriting, by the way.
Oh, thank you. My notes.
Sorry, I don't have any notes this week. It's been a very busy week. Then, as Braun Strowman is leaving, Paul Heyman does come out to deliver what as always is some sort of promo for the Brock Lesnar's. In a very interesting move, Braun Strowman just straight up strangles fucking Paul Heyman.
Stop! You're hurting me. I can't breathe. Stop! You're hurting me. I can't breathe. Help! I can't breathe. My God.
Paul Heyman looked like such a puss.
Seeing him look like that was probably the greatest thing I've seen in a long time, because take that. That's what you deserve. But yeah, it was very controlled for Braun Strowman. Just gave him a little shove and walked away. I was
just enough
expecting him to go
get up in his shit. Because there is some history there, as we know.
Yeah.
What was great, I realized that after that, he's like, Paul Heyman struggling to get his words.
Yep, he was winded.
Like,
he was totally...
All right, give me a minute. They got an ad break.
Yeah, exactly it. He was definitely winded, which, good. Take that, Paul Heyman.
It's very interesting when you can get Paul Heyman, the man of many words, to not say anything.
Exactly.
The advocate, as he is.
The advocate, yeah. So he cut into some big...
He confronts Grabs. Next we get... Finn Balor comes out to sort of talk about the Intercontinental Championship and sort of getting that win and whatnot. Then out comes Lio Rush and Bobby Lashley, and they attack him from behind.
Don't forget to mention, just quickly, back to the Paul Heyman thing, before the Finn Balor thing does happen, Paul Heyman does show like a little video package.
Oh, that video package, yes.
Yeah, this little like video package talking about Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins and...
It was this weird sort of almost propaganda-y piece of, Brock Lesnar came from fucking nothing.
Yeah.
He was working on a farm.
Worked on a farm.
And
yeah, some weird
he was using his
story.
hands to make money, and he was just having a real tough time, and life was really hard. But then he went to, he came.
I'm pretty sure that was...
He proper demolished WWE, then he left, demolished UFC, then came back and demolished WWE again.
Yeah.
And that's why Seth Rollins gonna die.
Yeah.
It was a very interesting spiel.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, that was definitely... I wasn't crazy. That was that part. And then, into
Yes,
Finn Balor.
yes. Sorry, I did get lost there. So Finn Balor did come in, sort of talk about his Intercontinental Championship win. Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush did come in, start some shit. Then Lio Rush and Ricochet comes in to help defend Finn, who these two, I believe, did spend some time together at NXT. So there is a history there. During the ad break, it did come as a decision to make it a tag match of Finn Balor and Ricochet versus Lio Rush and Bobby Lashley.
Love that team, let's call it the Balashay.
Ooh. The
Balashay was a really cool little team up. I really enjoyed that.
It was solid.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Match.
It was, if you wanted to showcase perfectly what Ricochet could do, this was
putting him up against Lio Rush, especially because Lio Rush is very similar in his wrestling style. I think it was definitely the perfect matchup.
Yeah.
Like those two were flipping all over the place. They were just like, pew, 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 pew. It was great.
Yeah, so we got to see a lot of Ricochet's sort of staple move, especially the one where he runs and does that reverse, almost like a I refer to it as a flare, because that's what it was on BMX bikes when you do a backwards 180.
Yeah.
For a 180 backflip, that's a flare. So he did this kind of run up 180 backflip over the edge, or a flare, and then into, I think maybe Bobby Lashley at the time.
Yeah.
Which, that is such a fucking ballsy move, because the second you turn your back to get that flip, you gotta hope that you're gonna make contact.
Yeah, exactly.
Regardless of what goes down, like if you turn around and like he happens to get out of the way, you are eating shit.
Yeah.
And like you're still gonna eat shit into someone or on the ground. It's better that you're getting someone in.
Yeah, exactly. He's definitely got some really good precision. His eyes like he can see everything that's going on around him. He's very, very, very well refined in that respect. So it's really awesome to watch Ricochet wrestle. I often forget how quick Finn Balor is on his feet, so it's good to see him moving so quickly as well. But yeah, it was definitely a really, really good matchup. I was really impressed with that. That 630 flip.
Yeah, 540, 630, whatever.
I don't know how many flips he does, but
essentially what it is,
ridiculous.
He had Leo Rush in the corner. He Ricochet gets to the top, does it's essentially 2 flips, but he lands on Leo, rolls out, gets up. Yes. Brilliant.
It's such
absolutely
a good move.
Brilliant. Just
it's so
the
cool.
Control of your own body to make that happen, and to not like fumble or fall or die because you may have fallen on your head. Yeah. Like there is some mad control there.
Yeah, he'll do some crazy flip into the ropes and like smash back and then jump down and land on his feet and just sit there like this staring, and you're just like, damn, like you got some cockiness behind you, and I like that too.
Very good. Sorry as I yawn.
That's all good.
Next, we see Drew McIntyre getting all up in the shit of Triple H. I thought, what was he bitching about?
I'm pretty sure it was... I think he wanted Seth Rollins. He's like, I deserve a match against... I deserve the match against Seth Rollins. Like,
he's like, I should be in the spot for the UC, the United Championship. I'm going to take it. Get me that match. Make that fucking match happen.
Dean Ambrose walks up.
Yeah, Dean Ambrose walks up, comes and does the whole like, I'm not doing anything. You wanna fight? You can fight me. Smacks him in the side of the face. Triple H literally looks at Drew and goes, so do you want Seth or you want Dean? It's like, give me Dean. I'm like, yeah.
The match. I was like, yes.
Next was a match I give absolute fucks about.
Can I just say, I love that Dean's just waltzing in and doing his own thing. Like,
it's common knowledge now that Dean has an end date. He is there until after Mania. So
I love that.
At this point, I'm just going to do literally whatever I want.
Yep.
What are they going to do? Fire me? All right. Like, I'm
already leaving anyway.
I gave them my 2 months notice. So like it.
I love it though. I'm absolutely loving it.
He's doing whatever he wants. He's fighting women. So he's getting into arguments with women. Nia Jax is jumping him. He's getting in fights with EC3.
No, that was so good.
He's just getting up in everyone's shit. It's great. Absolutely great.
Yeah, so good.
Yes, as we saw, next was the Lucha House Party versus Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. I could give absolutely zero fucks for this match. In order just to maintain trends, Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins lost.
Yeah, same old sappy like, oh, we're so bad. Where. It's okay. No, it's not okay.
Next, we see Heavy Machinery come out and have a chat with Charlie right in front of the screens. Yeah, having a bit of a chat about, who they are, and they talk about, how like Tucker and Dozer, how they work, how Dozer has, Otis. He's known as Otis now. Yeah. Otis has Tucker's back outside of the ring, in the ring, baby. Where they're helping each other in and out of the ring. They're implying that these pair are like good quality brothers, and they have each other's back in and out of the ring. So there's like they are a proper force to be reckoned with. And fuck, I love them. I think they are great.
All about them.
Give me more of them. Like wherever they decide to live,
they can wrestle. They can keep them double branded. Like free agency, please. This is so much fun.
I truly don't think we'll find out where they're going to settle until after when they do the shake up in April.
Yeah,
that's the only time we're going to hear about it.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think they'll
no point putting them somewhere if they're going to move them right
exactly.
now.
So they'll drift up until that.
Which I love.
Which I could say same to the other guys if they are in fact staying up.
And then they get interrupted by Lacey Evans.
Yeah.
Waltzing in and out for no reason.
So, although we didn't mention this in our chamber discussion, Lacey Evans, in what felt like a move to kill time, wanders out into the ramp, wanders down the ramp, comes in, almost like a model, does a little bit of thing, turns back around, leaves. That's it.
I'll give her credit for chamber. Her outfit was cute. That yellow skirt, give me one, or I will come and take it from you, Lacey Evans.
Oh shit, Lacey Evans.
Gorgeous.
Does the thing again. However, this time Tucker and Otis had none of that shit, and they proceeded to mock her and do the exact same thing.
Oh, it was a bit cute. I appreciate their humor.
Yeah, so it's very cool. Next thing we see Bobby Roode and Chad Gable having a chat to Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, because these blokes all were hanging out at NXT as well. Bobby Roode was a pretty strong force down there, so I'm sure they had crossed paths in some capacity. Yes. As they were chatting, then the Revival comes in. Oh, that's right. Rude and Gable had an issue with Ciampa and Gargano taking on the Revival.
Yeah.
Because we don't have automatic rematches, but we deserve to give it another go. Who the fuck are you guys? You may be champions of the lower down.
Yeah.
But you don't. Like, the way it works here is
you
go from the bottom to the top, then you move up here and you're at the bottom again.
Yeah, exactly it. Yeah. Well, too bad, so sad.
Too bad, so sad. Revival come out and they'll be like, no, the fuck that noise, we're going to punch anyway. So for this was the reuniting of DIY, which is Ciampa's and Gargano's tag team back in the day. Now, saying that, these guys have not been a tag team for a number of years. Like, it's been a very long time. Like, they've been quality enemies for a while.
Yes.
So in order to have this happen relatively out of nowhere, it was very interesting to see. And
to see their
however,
dynamic
saying
too.
that there were some hints at the end of TakeOver. So sort of them coming together at the end and putting their belts up together. There is this setup for them to come back to, like, as in, like, there are what feels like the opening of communication for them to come back together. And it was cool to see him do it on the main roster.
Yeah, definitely. That was super awesome.
Next, we saw a very cool interview with Finn Balor, Ricochet, and I think it was Charlie again.
Yep, Charlie Caruso. Where Finn Balor was just like, we're here to talk about Ricochet, like, you do your thing, and Finn left. Which I thought was super awesome to give Ricochet that moment in the spotlight. And he was saying, I'm here to make an impression, to do good by all of you, to keep you entertained. Like, I'm here for you. This is an opportunity that I'm not going to squander. Like, and I'm super thankful to have it, which was, I was all like, oh.
It was like a child just being super stoked to be here.
Yeah, he was very, very in love with his situation, and that was super cute to watch.
Yeah, so then we get a nice little video promo again from Kevin Owens, letting us know an update of where he's at. And I do like these weekly updates. Granted, he still says he's going to be about a month away, so I'm going to like another 4 more videos, I suppose. But they were at the cinema, presumably to go see Fighting with My Family, which, as we mentioned in the Chamber video, you will see and hear our review of that next week, which would be the Friday for you guys, because we're off to see it on the Wednesday. Big thank you once again to Universal Pictures for the invite to that press screening. We do certainly appreciate it, and we cannot wait to share our thoughts with you. Next was the women's tag team champions, the Boss and Hug Connection, Sasha Banks and Bayley, enter the ring to sort of to talk more about the belts and what it means and what they plan on doing with them.
Bayley choking back tears the entire time.
Exactly.
Super beautiful. We
did get more of the "You Deserve It" chants, as we talked about in the Chamber pod. Was like, this was what it needed. Like, these guys do deserve it, and that's 100% true. Yeah. Of the hiccups again. There was an excellent speech about the women's evolution, the women's revolution, and how it's moving forward, and saying that they are more than willing to take on anyone, whether it be Raw, SmackDown, NXT. So we're gonna see this belt go here, there, and everywhere,
and which means so excited about
hopefully that we'll get to this a little bit later, but hopefully this means that when more NXT people pop up, get the belt, take it away, and then because I love to see it
in and out, keep everything keep you on your toes about it all.
It's this weird tough line, because the WWE do have three staples. They have 5 staples. They have SmackDown, Raw, NXT, 205, and NXT UK. So, although it's weird that saying that, because in my head I see it as 3 staples: NXT, Raw, and SmackDown. So having them switch between those 3, I think, would be really cool. 205, I don't think has any women in it. So for that reason, it's like, oh, okay, cool, fine. Like, it's understandable why they obviously having them involved. NXT UK, it's too much effort to have those belts go international all the time. So keep them within those 3 is fine. But sort of combining all 3 is a great thing. Like, I'm not saying
then you're gonna get cool things like, obviously, Ricochet and Ciampa and Gargano coming up, like cross promotional. It's gonna really shake things up and make it a lot more exciting. And although I'm like, we're certainly we'll get into this now. So look, I'm certainly not saying that what they're going to do is then combine it all into one show like they did. Like, there was, I think it was 2 years ago, there was that was the brand split
split back to Raw and SmackDown. The way they're currently set up, I don't see them combining, but having them connected and this breathing system rather than a divisional thing is good as a business for ratings, for merchandising, all that sort of stuff. Combining the brands in that way, but keeping it separate so you can still get as many eyes in a bunch of different places. It makes sense, and for that reason, I do think if these guys aren't official call-ups, they may just do a lot of bouncing around. Next up, women's tag team. Oh yeah, so we were nicely interrupted by some fucking noise of Nia Jax and Tamina. Nia Jax walked out doing the whole So they tried to start some shit. They got in the ring, got sort of jumped by Bayley and Sasha, and then proceeded to piss their pants and leave.
Yeah. Like, they walked up to the ring and both Sasha and Bayley were feet straight out, kicked them right in the chest and out on their asses.
Yeah, it was that nice combination of all these two dogs barking at each other and one dog goes, poof, and I was like, oh, fuck, and then they just don't.
Yeah, and then, they went to jump in and the girls went, like, Sasha and Bayley went to go them again and they were just like, no, and just walked out. Which was great to see. Like, it's really good to see Nia Jax intimidated like that. It's interesting. Especially by such small girls in comparison.
More and more, we are seeing what was the original threat of Nia Jax and Tamina, the Samoan slaughterhouse, like
just diminish.
It's just getting less and less and less. And then like there was a time where the two of them seemed like a dominant pair, and I don't think that's the case anymore.
No,
I think they're slowly losing their punch.
Yep, I definitely think they're breaking down. Yeah, and I honestly don't see Nia and Tamina lasting too much longer.
As we saw last week with Nia delivering and Tamina trying to jump in and have her say, and Nia's just being relentless, I think there is some break there. Man, I don't want to see either of them be singles wrestlers either, but
who knows? We don't really care.
So next we did get the match between Drew McIntyre and Dean Ambrose. It was a nice short and sweet match. It did end, of course, with Drew McIntyre delivering his exceptional Claymore kicks. Yeah. And then he did get the pin and a win.
I think it was 2 Claymore kicks and then he got the pin. So
yeah.
How Dean got out of the first one, I will never know, but all power to him.
Those Claymore kicks are
they're vicious.
They're gnarly.
Yeah, they're very gnarly. But what made me giggle is Seth Rollins is backstage having a little interview, I think again with Charlie Caruso, and Dean Ambrose comes up and Seth is like, what do you want? And he's like, where were you out there?
I don't think it's Charlie Caruso, because Charlie Caruso was an explorer, I believe.
Sounds like they're saying Charlie Caruso.
No, I think it might be Charlie Russo, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, Caruso is not that person.
Maybe not. All right. Well, Charlie, whoever she is, Charlie. So she obviously disappears. Seth's like, what do you want, Dean? And it's just like, where were you out there? And Seth's like, have you lost your damn mind?
It was pretty much an idea of like, are you kidding me, man?
Yeah.
Why in actual shit would I even be there for you anymore?
Yeah. And he was just like, have you lost your mind? And Dean's like, and just walks away. Literally.
See, this is just the beauty of Dean Ambrose right now, because like I think I do think he, as a person, has distressed.
Yes.
Like having an out and knowing that no matter what happens right now, that's his end date. That's where he's going to be. That's what he's got to do. It's giving him this freedom to just not give a fuck.
And now, it's great.
Like, granted, being as the lunatic fringe, he has not given a fuck for a very long time. He does what he wants, but he is just next level. Just don't care.
I love it. He's just like, have you lost your mind? He's like,
He has
so good.
He has given all the fucks. They're all gone.
Yeah.
He's got none left. None. He's having a good time. Thank you very much. Take my page.
That's okay.
Next, we saw a match between Elias, who sits down as he does.
Hello, I am Elias.
Gives a bunch of hate to the crowd, as he seems to do. Then he gets an awesome interruption from just the amazing Aleister Black. Hey, where's the mention of the match between Gargano and...
I think it's further down. Oh no, did I miss it?
You missed it.
I must have. Oh, my bad. Well, yeah, somewhere in there is a match between
somewhere with the tag team match between the Revival. We'll get back to.
I think it might have been after that.
Maybe, I don't remember. It's been like 3 days since I watched it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was Ciampa, so Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano versus the Revival. So Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder.
Yes.
This is a weird setup for me because I didn't know who to pick.
Yeah.
Like, I love those NXT guys, and what I've seen of them, I'm like, no, fuck the Revival.
Yeah.
You know, so, like, take them out. But then I was like, well, they are the Raw Tag Team, the Raw SmackDown, Raw Tag Team champions, so maybe they'll come under the chance. But nah.
No chance. Yeah, Gargano and Ciampa just annihilated them.
Man, give me more of them.
Yeah, I was all about that. I would love to see, like, obviously, the commentators did keep making references to DIY, and we've seen this before from back in the DIY days, like their little tag team, like finisher moves and stuff like that, like a knee and a kick to the head at the same time and things like that. It was brutal move.
It was a great way to sort of showcase what Gargano and Ciampa are. Very similar to Ricochet, right? So with the idea of Gargano being very... Like, that's the reason he's called Johnny Wrestling, because he is an incredibly tactile wrestler.
Yeah, which
like
Chance going through the arena Johnny Wrestling the whole time.
Yeah, in the same way that we saw like matches with Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles, very technically heavy, very like sort of deep dive, proper grappling wrestling. That's Johnny's specialty.
Very quick pull-outs of things, trying to get people in submission moves, like quick counters. Like, it is very quick, very down on the floor, slow, like old school wrestling. It's like really fun to watch. There was still some sort of acrobatic stuff in there. Yeah. Not as much as what you'd expect from other people, but like there was a lot going on there. And I do love that sort of more grounded, more like, trying to pull people in submissions and rolling out of them and all that technical floor work. I love that too. And then connecting that to the ferocity of Ciampa, like it was like there's a reason they're a killer combo. Like there was such Revival had nothing. Yes. Well, look, they did put up a really good fight. They did. They definitely did. But yeah, ultimately, it's just nowhere near. One of the big things I love is when Ciampa does something that he's super proud of. He sits there and he pats himself on the back. Yes. My favorite little thing. I'm like, it's very, very good. Yeah. But no, that was a great match. I don't know where it's sat in the card because we may have missed that, but that's fine. Yeah, so go over the Elias, sitting in the middle of the ring, playing guitar. He does bullshitting about the crowd being a big old butthole. And then Aleister Black comes up doing his awesome ass entrance. I love that. Very reminiscent of Undertaker. Yes. Very reminiscent. I definitely reckon... Obviously, because it's still speculation at this moment, if Aleister gets called up to the main roster properly, I reckon he could be a shoo-in for the next Undertaker. I reckon he could have... filling in the Phenom shoes. Yeah, the Phenom shoes. I reckon there could be undefeated streaks there. I reckon there could be something phenomenal done with... what do they call him? The left something... He's the Dutch Destroyer. Dutch Destroyer, yeah. And left in the dark. As a giant... Like, I don't think this is intentional, but as a giant nerd, like... when his logo on the back is the hand, and like not from Skyrim, that's like the killers, like that's the assassination group. You know what I mean? It's like I don't think I think it's just a hand, but I'm like, that's fucking cool. Yeah, he's badass. I love it. But no, this was an awesome match. Like fuck Elias, I just don't care for him. I love the mind games that Aleister plays at, where he like does that flip and like hits his legs on the ropes and then just rolls over and sits down in the middle of the ring and just stares at his opponent. I love that. And we'll get to like SmackDown in a moment as well, but like even in SmackDown where he had a match and he's just sitting cross-legged in the corner, just that chaos, just waiting. Just waiting. The calm before the storm. Like he's really interesting to watch. I love the dark mystery of him, and I want to see. And his tattoos are dope. Yeah, his tattoos tell the story of his life, apparently. Which I don't know how much a Japanese severed head would tell a story of his life. That's entirely massively printed on his back. A woman that he had once. Maybe, but I love it. I love the whole story that goes with it. I think I may possibly be attracted to the Dutch Destroyer. He can Dutch destroy me. Yeah, look, I'm just going to put it out there. I think you may have a type. I definitely do have a type. Big burly wrestling tattoo man with facial hair and... Well, Randy Orton not so much, but he's still got the tattoos and the burliness, so I definitely do have a type. And watching Aleister and Elias go at it, I was a bit like, ooh. Yeah, there would definitely there'd be like a humidity. It was definitely a bit warm in the bedroom. I had to put the fan on. It was a hot night. No, I can understand. I can understand. Finishing off the night was a rematch to the Elimination Chamber with Ronda Rousey versus Ruby Riott. Which Ronda does after every main event.
She does. So she is very adamant in no matter how the beatdown went down at the pay-per-view, she will be there the next night to defend her belt.
Yep, she's definitely a very defensive champion. I loved this match because we got to see what I was longing for at Elimination Chamber. We got to see Ruby Riott do what Ruby Riott does, and that's wrestle really well.
Yeah, like shit. There were so we should mention the winner was Ruby. Ronda.
Ruby, fuck. Yeah, of course.
So there was some quality stuff there. Like there were what looked to be a dead Ronda Rousey.
Yeah. Oh. Man, Ruby is phenomenal in the sense that she's clearly studied her opponent. So whenever Ronda went for an armbar, she was able to get out of it. She was right on top of it. She knew how to roll out, how to get away from it. And she's very powerful too. So like you said, there were a few times there where Ronda looked properly knocked out. And somehow there
was minor interference from Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan, but nothing too crazy.
Which Ronda just annihilated them.
Yeah, because I've squashed you before, I'll do it again. Sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly it. Phenomenal. I was really impressed to see Ruby really sort of put out what we want from her because she's a phenomenal wrestler. But
once it did result in a tap out armbar. Okay.
Yeah.
Pardon me. I didn't see it changing hands at any point.
Yeah.
It was overall.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good end.
What do you think of this week's episode of RAW?
Yeah, it was a good way to end the show. Yeah. I was definitely very impressed with that.
It was a weird setup for us because in this show we do focus on the storyline structure of where it all leads and what it's all going. With this one, not focusing a lot on the usual people we deal with. It's very an interesting analyst for us.
Yeah.
What it does show the potential of these NXT call-ups and what that could mean, and especially in the storyline structure.
Yeah.
So I do hope this means that these guys are making their way. However, saying that, there has also been reports that Vince just wanted the four of the best dudes of NXT to come and do something cool.
Yeah.
So
apparently just because he wanted to, no other reason than it happens because Vince says so. And
that's the rules.
Yeah.
So it's that weird line of okay, that's cool. They did a great job. And I think it could also be a test of the waters as well. Once again, as we do know, there is that superstar shake-up come April. And this is a laying down the ground. These guys are the best guys at NXT. Would they be received well at the roster?
Yes.
So, because it was weird to do that in the Cajun Dome.
Yeah.
And not really... This is something that I heard on another wrestling podcast. They talked about how it was a weird place to make this decision because although the crowd was good and the crowd were great, the New Orleans, especially whatever this dome was, isn't really the best place for wrestle fans.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks, they're going to be at, I think it's Boston, maybe? No, Philadelphia. Philadelphia. Because they're going to be in Philly. So... that's a huge wrestling fan base there. So it would make sense to do it there. But obviously there's reasons they wanted to do it now.
Yeah.
It's fine. Look, I thought it was a really cool episode. I did like seeing these guys come up. But I think once again, that comes down to me knowing who they are and what they can do. So when I saw those names, I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Where the average person, they might just come in and watch the weekly, not even watch the weeklies, they might just watch pay-per-views. They're like, I'm like, who is all of them?
Yeah.
For us, when I saw those names drop at the Rumble, I'm like, fuck. Then seeing them here, I'm like, double fuck.
Yeah, see, I didn't start watching NXT until after the Rumble, and that's when I think it's good for me now because watching Halftime Heat after Elimination Chamber and stuff like that, having names like Ricochet and that come out, I was just like, whoa, I just watched this guy put on this phenomenal performance. This is main roster stuff. And I even said, I was like, I can't remember who I was with, but I said to them, I was like, how are these guys not main roster material? This is ridiculous. And we were like, well, they're doing so well in NXT, they don't want to lose their best guys.
I've always wondered that. What do they do about the call-up? So if someone is having such an incredible time in NXT, why would they want to come up? Well, wouldn't they want to be the biggest fish in a small pond rather than being small fish in a big pond?
Yeah,
you know
exactly,
what I mean? Take advantage of being the number ones down here. Who knows? Solid episode. Let us know what you thought of this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. Are you excited to see all these NXT potential call-ups? Let us know in those comments below, as well as that Discord chat.
Yeah.
Next up, we had SmackDown airing on the 19th of February 2019 from New Orleans as well. Now, as myself,
New Orleans, as they call it.
New Orleans,
Nolan.
as I have only watched about 20 to 30 minutes of this episode due to my current scheduling. This one will be ran by Jem, and I will dive in for what I watched.
Yeah.
And then it's all on you.
So, starts with Shane O'Mac coming out. Here comes the money. He comes out and he announces that he was so impressed with the NXT stars the previous night that he's decided to feature them on SmackDown as well. Now, in this speech, I'm pretty sure I did hear him leave out Tommaso Ciampa's name. He was like, you know, the likes of Aleister Black.
No, he just said Ciampa. He didn't say Tommaso. He just said Ciampa.
I thought I completely missed that there. Well, there you go. So, as he's giving his speech talking about how he was really impressed with them and he wants to showcase them on SmackDown as well, The Miz interrupts. Obviously, again, super remorseful. He's like, you know, I haven't slept in 48 hours. I feel so bad about this. I want to make this up to you. Like, we need to have a chat. I know that you don't just get automatic rematch clauses, but you're Shane O'Mac. Like, you can do this. He's like, he did say one thing that made me question. He's like, you know, Shane, I need to confess something to you. I used you. He's like, I used you because I knew that our situations with our fathers would, you know, sucker you into getting into this tag team with me, but, you know, I really want to make this work. Like, we're a great team, and
yeah, it's one of those situations. Like, I roped you into this, but once you got here, you proved to me that this is what you wanted to. This is what we wanted to do, and it opened up a brand new thing.
Exactly it. During this, obviously talking about the rematch clause and stuff like that, the Usos do come out. Like, no, like, you don't get a, what was it? They were like, wait, and the crowd were like, wait, and, like, they were just saying wait heaps. And then they were like, yeah, like, are you shitting us? Like, there's no way you're going to get just an automatic reclass. And they're like, actually, if you, Shane O'Mac, forgive Miz here, we will give you the rematch that you want. All you have to do is tell us you forgive him, and we'll, you know, let bygones be bygones and let the best team in the world, you know, have another go at it. So,
but during that, they did deliver a hail of insults at the Miz.
Yes.
Which, you know,
calling him a failure and a
loser
fake and a loser and
big old girl sort of things. Like,
they did hail some pretty nasty.
Yeah, so Shane, Shane did jump up and be like, you know what? Fuck this. You're getting it. Yeah. Fastlane, home of it was in Ohio. At Fastlane, you're getting it.
Yep, in Cleveland, Ohio, the Miz's hometown, we're going to have that rematch. And Miz did say that Daddy, Mr. Miz is going to be ringside for it as well. And Shane was like, oh, Mr. Miz.
See, what I do love is that because the Usos do have a way of talking.
They do.
So we do oos and like the, you know, dig. Yeah. So like I did like, I did enjoy Shane and Miz just ripping on that a little bit.
When Shane was like, you're getting that rematch, you dig.
Yeah, and it's like,
so
you know, the best tag team in the chain. Well, oos.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh. And it was funny though, because you see Jimmy, and I think it may have been James, be like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I just, like, I think it may have caught him off guard a little bit. It was very cool.
It's so good. They are so much fun.
Yeah, look, it's this weird line. I understand where the Miz is coming from. He does feel guilty, and we did see the beginnings of that at the Elimination Chamber, and it's a real bummer that he's got to that point. And I like that he did try to come and reconcile, but it was also reconciling an issue that wasn't there. Yes. Saying that, however, you know, Shane was doing this. Look, it's cool, man. It's fine. He's not expressed clear forgiveness either, or any. But then again, if there's nothing to forgive, there's nothing to say sorry. You know, say sorry for. It's this weird line. I think I don't think there's an issue there. Yeah. There's the seeds of an issue, depending on how they go at Fastlane. Yeah. I don't know where they stand. I think it's fine. I think the Miz may have just been mildly overreacting. Yeah, I definitely think so. But this led into, once again, an awesome entrance from Aleister Black. I love that entrance. And he was set to take on Andrade with Zelina Vega in his corner, as always. So
It was a super, obviously, we've seen with matches Andrade and Ray, like, it was a super fast-paced match. So, Aleister being a bigger dude,
and
Andrade
NXT,
as well.
and NXT call up in his own right.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
these guys have faced before, and it was good to see that again.
Which they, obviously, commentators, again, do discuss. These guys do have quite a bit of history. So they obviously know each other. So the match was quite fast-paced, very aerial, very, very what you'd expect from Andrade, which I saw a little bit of it from Aleister, but I wasn't expecting as much. I think Andrade brought a lot of that out of him.
Yeah, so the
which was awesome.
The big difference is with Aleister, he is very strike focused.
Yes.
Where Andrade using that lucha libre that's a bit more grapple heavy, a bit more sort of high stakes movement. So they weren't on the same playing field like we saw with Andrade and Ray.
Yeah, the bigger risk, the bigger reward.
They did also have a very good setup.
Yeah, it was really, really good. One thing I did really, really, really appreciate was that there was no interference for once.
Yep.
Selena just kept in her corner, yelling and shouting. She didn't grab at. I appreciated that.
Yep.
That was nice to see for once that there was no interference when there was somebody who rings.
Yeah, no, like as both of us are incredibly sick of seeing interference.
Yes.
This was awesome.
Beautiful change. But yeah, phenomenal match. I do believe Aleister got the black mass on Andrade. I think that's what the boot to the face is called. And he did win his match. So 2 wins in 2 nights. Congratulations to Aleister.
Now this is where I was able to watch up to. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. So
this is all brand new to me.
That, there's an interview backstage with Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Wrestling, because they were watching the match with Aleister and Andrade. Which, as soon as they come onto screen, you can hear Johnny Wrestling chants in the background. So they're approached by the bar. Obviously, the bar start talking smack. I think Sheamus is like, "Oh, hey, look, it's bring your NXT Superstar to work day," which is pretty funny. And then, obviously, Gargano and Ciampa get into it, and Gargano is like, "We're not here to set the bar. We're here to break the bar." Ooh. And the bar just laugh in his face and walk off. But that leads into a little promo of later in the night. We do find out that there's going to be a 6-man tag match. It's going to be Jeff Hardy.
That's right.
Yeah, Kofi Kingston and AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe, Daniel Bryan, and Randy Orton. So it zooms in on Jeff Hardy, who's standing there, and he's speaking to AJ. AJ is shown. He's just like, "Hey, look, I know everything that happened at the Elimination Chamber, but we need to put this behind us. We need to, be a team tonight." And the New Day walk up, and like all you see is this stick with pancakes come into the interview, and they're like, "We're just extending a branch of our friendship with pancakes, like a pancake branch." But the thing that got me about this was when they walked in, Kofi's got the branch in his hand, and Xavier is carrying Big E, like cradling him. Big E's like there like a child, just with his pancake, just munching away. I was like, they're there for a good minute or so having a chat. I was like, how is he holding him? Like, Big E's like double the size of Xavier. That was really impressive.
Yeah, it's like if you put Kofi and Xavier together and wrapped them in a jacket, like that's Big E.
Yeah, exactly it. So that was really impressive and a fun little thing. But that led us back into the bar versus Ciampa and Gargano. So very technical match. Very obviously they're big hitters. They're bigger dudes. Gargano does have a bit of that athleticism behind him, so he's able to do some really cool flippy things. Ciampa, this really concerned me. I'm really worried about Tommaso, because there was a
it was like so you did show me this clip at the before the thing. So it did have Sheamus standing on the second buckle. He did have Ciampa over his shoulders. Ciampa elbows him in the face, managed to get out, gets to do a sunset flip.
That's it, a sunset flip. And when he comes down with him, the full weight of Sheamus and his back lands on Ciampa's knee, and his leg just comes out the wrong way.
So the big thing with Ciampa is he does have his right knee braced. It's been braced for a very long time.
Yeah, it's a pre-existing knee
saying
injury.
that, I have seen him use that brace as a weapon.
What they do.
So it's a real shame him to land like that on his
good knee. Yeah, so he did land on his good knee, which was pretty devastating. But yeah, he rolled straight out of the ring. Like, he was gone. He tagged out.
There was the double cross, as we know, the crossed arms. Like, this is an unrepairable injury. Like, this guy's fucked.
Yeah, exactly it. I didn't actually know that.
Yeah, so whenever you see wrestlers do the cross arm, that means this guy is fucked.
Yes.
Like, this is an unable to compete.
Yeah.
Like, normally, like, people, you know, it's wrestling. People get injured because that's the whole point, right?
Yes.
The point is to beat the other person until you win. But there comes a point where if someone is so seriously injured that they cannot actively compete, you see the crossed arms. That's when the medical team come out and usher them out.
So yeah, obviously Gargano did have to take the brunt of this match. It was essentially a 2-on-1 handicap. There was a part there where Ciampa did jump back in and he did break up a 3 count, but it did end up in Ciampa and Gargano taking the win.
Yep.
I've got so Ciampa actually does get back in the ring. So he was all good. He tags in. And I'm pretty sure Ciampa got the pin on Cesaro.
Excellent.
Yeah. So he was able to finish the match, but there is still lingering. I have read there are lingering concerns about his injury. They don't.
We
know
do
how
have that
serious
in
it
the
is.
dash sheet, and we'll get to that at the end of the show.
There we go.
But you know, this is really cool to see. You know, once again, having them come up and not knowing whether they're full-time call-ups or they're just here to cause some shit and just to be showcased.
Yeah.
What an excellent way to showcase the lot of them. An excellent
definitely.
way.
And again, another win 2 nights in a row. It clearly means that these guys are made for the main roster.
Yeah, so if they're coming in, see, this is the great thing about the guys from NXT is because they wrestle in a whole different space. The main roster guys can't watch and focus them and learn them. So when they do make that call up, they're gonna fucking win because normally. An example, we've seen Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman fight like 1,000 times, so they know how to work each other. There's nothing new there.
Yes.
Saying that, if you were to have Braun Strowman versus fucking Aleister Black, Braun's got no idea what to prepare for.
Exactly, it's a whole new ballpark. And
so like, there's a whole new setup,
so
and these guys do have something to prove, so they're gonna go that extra hard, extra step.
But
again.
even obviously, Andrade's been on the main roster a lot longer than Aleister, so it's like coming into a whole fresh scenario there. So even though they do know each other, it's kind of old news. It's in the back of Andrade's head. So yeah, it was definitely fun to see that. Then next we see the Empress of Tomorrow. She's alive.
Yeah, she's been away for weeks.
Yeah, she's been away for weeks. So yeah, her little intro comes in. So she's getting interviewed in the ring by I've forgotten her name. Anyway,
We'll call her George.
Yeah, she's having a little interview. She's like, you know, asking about what the main events and things like that, and what are you doing? And Asuka's just like, don't care. I'm ready for a challenge. I'm ready for a new challenge. Who wants to challenge me? And then
this
next
isn't
minute,
for the belt. This is just a straight up match. Yeah.
Yeah, just a straight up match. And then next minute, Mandy Rose comes out with Sonya Deville.
Yeah.
Like, you want to fight? I'll fight. And just takes off her little jacket and jumps in the ring with Asuka.
With who?
Asuka.
You said Asuka.
Did I?
You had like a mild stroke during that. So how'd the match go?
Yeah. Well, as just before the match starts, Lacey Evans walks out again.
Does the shit and fucks off
Yeah,
again?
so she just does this little strut down. She looks at them all greasy, and then she storms back out. And then we get into the match with Mandy and Asuka. So pretty brutal match. Obviously, Asuka is vicious. She's ready to wrestle.
Yeah,
again.
Mandy Rose ain't got nothing on Asuka.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there was a point there where Asuka delivered Asuka delivered a vicious knee to Mandy's face. And Mandy grabs her eye and she's screaming, my eye, no, my eye. She's getting the referee to push Asuka away. Like, Asuka's trying to get in there, like, stop complaining, you little wuss. Like, you know, she sees right past Mandy. Mandy's like, no, my eye. And then eventually, like, you know, Asuka's like, oh, whatever. And Mandy sees her opportunity and capitalizes. And she gets a little roll up on Asuka and she wins.
Damn.
Yep, so Mandy Rose got the pin on Asuka.
Mandy Rose is not the person that I think who should be pushing for a spot at the SmackDown Championship. It's very, very interesting to see that. But to her credit, for her to come in, take that shot, and win that shot.
Yeah.
I'm not a judge.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a little Charlotte Flair interview after that where she's just chatting about how, you know, she's asked about the whole Becky situation and what she thinks about Asuka being back, and she's like, I don't care. I'm main eventing WrestleMania, and that's all
Everyone
that
else
matters.
can fuck it at this
yeah,
point,
exactly. So it was a short but sweet little thing. I think she mentioned something along the lines of like, I'm here and Becky's at home, so like clearly I'm the better person. And then this cuts into a little promo with the Miz and Shane. Min comes running up to Shane. I got a little bit mixed up earlier. This is where Miz announces, is like, hey, so I've just got a call. Exciting news. Mr. Miz is going to be at Fastlane in our corner. He's going to be front and center. So, yeah, Shane's just like, yeah, awesome. Mr. Miz is going to be there. He's super happy. So after that, we get Ricochet SmackDown debut.
Excellent.
So yeah, Ricochet is taking on Eric Young, and he's out there with two of the other guys from his little group. What are they called? Sanity or something like that?
Oh, Sanity.
Is that Eric Young?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so there were two other guys with him. I can't for the life of me. I forgot to write down their names. Is one possibly named Luke, maybe?
There's Killian Danes.
Yeah, I think it was maybe that name.
Was it Eric Young?
Yeah, it was Eric Young. So Ricochet was versing Eric Young.
Let's see. Let me do... Yeah, no, he's part of Sanity. Awesome. This is really cool. So, for a while there, Killian has been posting on socials. He's like, "Where's Sanity? Like, why aren't we? Like, we want our time to shine. You called us up, now nothing's happening. What the fuck?" So that's awesome.
So that's essentially just a call-up match.
Yeah.
Yeah. So call-up.
Well, no, they've been on the main roster for a while.
Oh, okay.
But they've just kind of been off. Like, they're just not being used.
Yeah. So all three of them were there. Obviously, Eric Young was in the ring versing Ricochet. The other
Killian was the big fucker dude.
Yep. Killian was there, and another gentleman. I can't for the life of him.
Very skinny, scrawny looking dude.
Yeah.
Bad haircut.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, they were there. There were little bits of interference, but there was an awesome part where Ricochet just come flying through the second rope and took out all three of them. Yeah. Phenomenal.
So knowing Sanity are there, that really makes me want to go finish SmackDown.
Yeah, you definitely need to, because that was a phenomenal match.
Yeah.
That was a really, really good match. It was awesome to see Ricochet do what Ricochet does again. He did get the win on Eric Young, which was awesome.
So Nikki Cross was a member of Sanity.
Yes, yeah. So he did this really cool, I think it ended up being like a 6:30 splash for the finisher again, which was super awesome. Yeah, phenomenal match. Super quick, pretty short, but pretty great.
Yeah, I'm keen to check that out now, knowing that's the thing.
So yeah, that was really fun to watch. And then, yeah, right before, like last match of the night, there's a little guerrilla interview with, the New Day.
Oh,
so they're just having a chat about Kofi and
so you're talking to Big E and Xavier.
Yeah, Big E and Xavier, and Kofi was there as well.
Oh, beautiful.
So they're just talking about how well Kofi did at Elimination Chamber, and how like Kofi was like, you know, I've got this thing, it's called momentum. And he's like talking about how he's going to ride that momentum wave through this next match with his tag partners. And
we did get confirmation that he's getting a championship match against Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
Is that the outcome of this match?
Yes, that is the outcome of the match. So we'll get to that. But yeah, so he so the whole 6-man tag match is to determine who will face Daniel Bryan at Fastlane. So the most outstanding superstar
so the MVP.
The MVP will be the man that gets the title match. Yep. Anyway, as they're getting through this interview, Big E takes the mic and he starts doing their intro. So he's like, New Orleans. What, don't be sour.
Yeah, don't you dare be sour. Clap for your world famous 5-time champs and feel the power.
Yeah, so
it's a new day. Yes, it is.
Yep. So you actually watch him.
My voice.
Yeah, you watch him in the gorilla. doing that. And then you see them run out down the ramp, which was super awesome. And then you get all your intros. So pretty full on match. So 6-man tag match, obviously. Pretty crazy stuff. Kofi, as always, pulling out all the stops. Clearly, he's like, you know, I need to show myself in this match to get that title opportunity again. So yeah, there was some pretty cool shit going on there. Yeah, so Daniel Bryan, obviously, as they're coming out, first of all, I forgot to mention, Daniel Bryan is like, you know, none of you are going to face me at Fastlane because I've defeated all of you in the Elimination Chamber. None of you are good enough. Does his little spiel thing. And then, yeah, they get into the match. But, yeah, Kofi just annihilates. He's totally the star of the match. Like, sure, there's some good pieces, but it's all just coming full circle back into Kofi. All I can think about in that match, I can't remember what anyone did except for, like, Kofi. Because it was so focused on him. And end of the match, Kofi does end up winning. He gets the pin on Daniel Bryan via the Trouble in Paradise.
So the little spinny flip.
Yeah,
spinny flip kick.
Yep, he did the spinny flip kick. Yep, gets the pin on Daniel Bryan. 1, 2, 3. And then Shane O'Mac comes out, and everybody's standing up against the ropes, and he's like, you know, I've watched the match. I'm going to determine who's going to, you know, who deserves this title shot. And the crowd just erupts with Kofi. Yeah. So loud, I was pretty sure the place is going to explode. Yep. And Shane O'Mac's like, Kofi Kingston, congratulations. You're facing Daniel Bryan at Fastlane. And that was the end of the show. So perfect way to end. I was super stoked on that.
I'm just going to put it out there.
Yes.
Last week. When we predicted, sorry, I got a runny nose.
That's fine.
And I'm very emotional. Last week, when we predicted the New Day versus the Bryan family.
Yes. It's coming.
It's happening.
It's coming full circle.
Like, holy shit, I think it's fucking happening. So, because come Fastlane, we're going to have the New Day on one side, and then we're going to have Daniel Bryan, presumably Eric Rowan, and then potentially the other blood brother who I keep forgetting, or Bray Wyatt. Like, you know, this is fucking happening. I think we're going to get the one-on-one between the two now, and then depending on the outcome of that match, we'll get the tag team. We'll get the tag match. So a 3-on-3 tag match at Mania.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a match I could see for Mania.
Yeah.
I could see some shit going down at Fastlane. Maybe Wyatt shows up. You know, who knows? Like, maybe like the whole venue just goes black, and then, you know, this whole like Wyatt entrance happens. Like, but yeah, I definitely see something coming into fruition at Fastlane that's going to lead to something huge at Mania. Whether it is, you know, I don't think the title will change hands yet. I think Daniel's going to retain that for a little bit longer to lead into this 6-man tag at Mania.
Saying that though, with this 6-man tag match, like who was it? Whoever gets the pin gets the belt.
Yeah.
Like how do they, if it continues as a championship match, a singles champion match, who gets the belt? Is it whoever gets the pin? Because that'd be fucking awesome.
They could possibly do like a lumberjack style match where they have the guys outside the ring.
But I think that's what we're going to get here at Fastlane.
Oh, you reckon?
I think a lumberjack match, like in not in name but in setup. Yeah. As in, we'll have them there and they'll have their buddies, because it's 4 sides, two New Days, 2 Bryan family, and you got 2 of them in the ring. So I think without even meaning to, they will have a lumberjack. Yeah. So those 2 will cover those 2, and they won't get involved. Yeah. Because of that reason. Yeah. But like, if there is this Bryan family versus New Day, it's happening at Mania. Yeah. It's a 3-on-3 tag, and I can only assume it's whoever pins gets the belt.
Yeah. Or possibly we will see a title change at Fastlane. Who knows? That could set up something crazy big for Mania. So many possibilities.
In a one-on-one,
I don't care which way it goes. I love this whole setup.
It's that weird line. In a one-on-one, we saw Kofi go hard, and we saw him get the win. You saw him get the win this week.
Yes.
We saw him get the win at, Bryan get the win at Chamber. Like, it is up in the air. However, saying that, I'm the same as you. I think Daniel will keep that win, but that's fine. Yeah. But from what I saw of SmackDown this week, I thoroughly enjoyed those couple matches.
I honestly did not have a low point of SmackDown this week. I think they executed it phenomenally. Everything was just so well. Obviously, I was a bit concerned about Tommaso Ciampa, but aside from that, like, that was still a phenomenal match. And I reckon I give it 2 solid Kurt Angles.
2 Kurt Angles, very nice.
2 Kurt Angles,
well, from what I demonstrate, I will also give it 2 good Kurt Angles. For those who don't know, Kurt Angles are our measuring tool, because he looks like a thumb. 2 thumbs up, 2 Kurt Angles. Yes. From what I saw, I agree. And I'm going to go back and watch the rest of it. Not tonight, because I'm about to go to bed. But then I'll be watching it probably tomorrow night. But anyways, let us know what you thought of this week's episode of SmackDown in those comments below. Or head over to that Discord and give us a chat there. Of course, the Facebook group as well. And that brings us to the time we jump into Dishing the Dirt with Dirt Sheet Dash. Our good friend Dash does scour the internet for all the best rumors of the week and lets us know what is happening in the outside world. And so out of the ring. For those wrestling peeps.
I will just say I am excited about next week, not just because of the preview, the screening of Fighting With My Family, but next week's episode of Raw, I believe, is Ric Flair's birthday celebration.
It is. Ric Flair's getting your arm broken.
I am going to bring a party hat, So get excited.
Oh, shit.
Ooh,
All right, first
getting
thing
super
up, Vince
dirty.
McMahon is not happy with The Undertaker. Vince McMahon is currently furious with The Undertaker, who appeared at AEW's Double or Nothing Starrcast 2 event. Now, having not watched the AEW event, I cannot confirm this. We'll have to go look at that. According to Dave Meltzer, quote, a whole bunch of things have happened in the last week, and one of them is a whole Undertaker-Vince dynamic. But it had Vince off. And because there is definite unhappiness about him doing the Starrcast thing, you know why. So there's that. Holy shit! If we can once again, I'm not quite sure whether this Starrcast thing was televised in any capacity, because we're like, although we'll be following AEW, we're following it from once the show begins.
Yes.
So up until this point, we don't know.
Yeah.
It's all new stuff for us.
Yeah.
So if that is in fact true, if that was, I'm going to reach this the fuck out once we're done here, because we don't read the dirt sheet until the show kicks in, just to get our first initial pure reactions.
Yeah.
So following what you mentioned before about Ciampa's injury, actually, before I jump into that, what do you think the chances of Taker heading to AEW?
I honestly think it's likely. We've seen a huge shift in his social media presence. Obviously, it's I think it may be, I feel like he may be moving into like a behind the scenes role, whether it be like talent relations or something like that. I don't think, obviously his age, he is getting on. I think his body is pretty well done. I don't see him in the ring as much, but I definitely think he will be a huge factor in the production side of things. Obviously, being a huge part of the WWE for so long, he's got a lot of insight.
But that's the thing. Being Taker, I do think he would have to appear as Mark Jacobs. Something he can't be. He can't be the Taker.
Yeah, exactly.
Just in terms of branding for AEW, it's not smart for them to have. We have the Undertaker. Yeah, because there's some conflict there.
Maybe he could do the whole American Badass shtick again.
Holy shit, that's a really good point.
Yeah, I love the American Badass, and it's really underrated and very highly forgotten in the WWE. So
I agree with you. I don't think. Actually, no, I disagree with you. Sorry, I don't think he's going. I think he's way too fucking old. I think, as we saw last week with the idea of him looking at doing more social, more face-to-face.
Yeah.
Events and expos and all that sort of thing. For that reason, I think he's stepping away from the ring. I think he may have even retired without us realizing.
Yeah.
I think he's gone. Because watching him at Crown Jewel, watching him at Super Showdown, it's watching like an elephant fight. He's slow, he's lumbering, he's not got much left in him.
Yeah.
So for that reason. Following on from SmackDown with Ciampa injury scare, there was a scary moment during the DIY versus the Bar match that took place during the week SmackDown Live. Tommaso Ciampa went for a sunset flip powerbomb into Sheamus, but Sheamus landed awkwardly directly onto Ciampa's knee. There was concern that one or both of them were injured, but it appears that neither were hurt too seriously.
Good. Yeah, like I said, Ciampa did get in the ring again. He did finish the match. He did pin Cesaro for the win. So I think that gave me hope that there wasn't anything too serious. Yeah. But they were both in genuine pain. Like, I can imagine that Sheamus going to have a big old bruise on his tailbone there.
Moving into the final bit from the Dirt Sheet Dash, an NXT invasion is in the works. Excuse me while I fuck a bunch of shit.
Oh, yeah.
I got a nice cold, and my cold and flu tablets are wearing off. So I'm like, I'm gonna pound some pills in a minute.
Yeah,
I'm just a fucking hot mess today. With the NXT call-ups this week, there has now been backstage talk that there is a potential NXT invasion planned. It is believed that Triple H will lead his troops of NXT wrestlers to invade the main roster in the future and decimate them leading into WrestleMania. Yes. With the card already planned for well over a year, this may now be the last time, a last minute moment for the NXT guys to come in and cause some damage.
Oh, I will just go back to Raw for a second. There, we did forget to mention that Triple H is a bit hilarious in talking about NXT being his brainchild and how he takes care of that. He did stumble a bit and he screwed it up and had to redo it. And he's like, "Don't worry, guys, it's live. There's no screw ups." So that was a bit hilarious. But yeah, he did mention obviously it is his brainchild, and I definitely could see him. Obviously, he's very proud of NXT. It's So I definitely could see that coming to fruition.
We have seen Triple H be the front of invasions in the past. Yeah. Like the time that DX went and fucked with WCW, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, WCW, they were out in tanks and stuff.
Yeah, so invasions are his thing. And once again, he has been given a chance here to showcase some of the talent that he's helped create and help focus. So it's one of those things. He's like, if anyone can be like, go fuck with them, it's Triple H.
Especially, you know, he is married into the McMahon family, so he does have quite a bit of say over things as well. He does have a lot of influence. He is the COO of the company. So I definitely think it is something that he would execute beautifully.
I cannot wait.
Yes.
Give me more of NXT, guys. Like, if I can see even someone like Velveteen Dream come up as well, and sort of have a moment, you know, even if they bring up a bunch, even if they bring up some of the women,
just a
like
momentary thing,
even some of the women, like, you know, Ray Ripley's over at NXT UK, I guess.
Yeah.
But even her, potentially, you know, Eric Dunn, the guy, you know, the bruiserweight from NXT UK. Then the likes of Shayna Baszler, then the likes of Kairi Sane.
Yeah.
Like, there are a bunch of women
of the girls we saw in
that
the
should,
Rumble.
you know, there's like
Candice LeRae.
Candice LeRae. Like, there's all these people that should have that moment, and I think him orchestrating an invasion will give everyone a big shot. So when Mania does happen, we see a bunch of cool shit. Then we get that shuffle. Maybe some of them will. Maybe they'll take the interest, and then they'll come into the main roster. After that.
Yeah, definitely. It's Ooh, the dirt sheet got me shook this
week. Yeah, Dash does deliver the goods.
Yeah, he does. Thanks,
Let us know what you think of a Dash's dirt sheet this week. Once again, in those comments below, or in the Facebook group, or in that Discord. All those links are in the description. But that was this week's episode of The Young and the Rest. You can listen to us. You can listen to this show every Friday morning at 8 a.m. on podcast services, and very, very soon at 9 a.m. on the YouTubes. Once Dash does finish that video intro for us, he has been going a little bit of chaos lately, but it's very difficult to monitor all of the comings and goings of the wrestling industry.
Yeah.
It's understandable that he may be running behind on that video. But if you want to support the show, you can head over to the Facebook group, have a chat, the Discord group, have a chat with us there, and show your love on the body. Merchandise, popculturist.com/shop. Buy that, you can buy this, you can buy
PopC.
that, other assorted shit with our logos on it. Even your own little wrestling note-taking book with shit on there. You can do that too.
Awesome.
Yes, we are on Patreon, patreon.com/popculturist. If you love us that much, you can throw a couple $1 reviews our way, help make this show possible. And then we are on Twitch as we do. Again.
Every Wednesday.
We are on Twitch every Wednesday before. So we stream every Wednesday, but the Wednesday before a pay-per-view, we do use the power of WWE 2K19 to predict the outcome of said matches for pay-per-view. And if you do love the show, please go to your podcast service of choice, give us some ratings, give us a review, help us get up there, because this week we were able to make it to the new and noteworthy section of the games and hobbies for iTunes. Thank you very much. It's you guys that have helped make this possible. And as I said, for that reason, next week we've been able to be invited to go to the preview screening of Fighting with My Family. So that review is coming for you then, and that is literally thanks to you guys.
Yeah.
We did showcase. I reached out to Universal to be like, hey, you've got the movie coming. This is what we do, and this is the people that love it. And they're like, that sounds amazing. Come on this day.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. But until next week, I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Stone Cold Steve Ostrom. Woo!
See you then.
Bye.